Peters, let's first report it. It will be Johnson, Seitzma, Rowan, Criley, and Brown for the Profs. And here we go. The Profs win the tip as Johnson punched it to the offensive zone. As the Cougars take over, though. Profs already into the full court press. They're all in the white uniforms that say Brown or Rowan, or it says Rowan across the chest as a travel violation. Laureano will turn it over. Meanwhile, the Cougars in the dark blue uniforms, it's a cane, a white cane across the chest, and a light blue numbers on the front and back. About 20 seconds into this matchup. So we're still nothing as quickly ahead. Alexis Criley gets a full head of steam, goes right to the bucket. No one was home. Profs will take it. It's an early 2-0 lead.
And that's why they inserted her back into the lineup. A little bit of confusion there with the starting lineup. That was a great play there by Criley.
As they steal a takeaway, here comes Brown. Going right in on McCoy. Spin around, turn to Rowan as it's a travel. And she netted the three. That would have been huge to start the game. Also going to be interesting to see if we see action from Grace Marshall. Hasn't played a game in a very long time for this Profs team, as we've seen her in street clothes most of the time, and a lot of games with a boot on as well. As the pass over to Foresta, thought about a three, instead drives right in, clanks off rim, rebound by Rowan, she saves it, and went right back out to a Cougar, a floater by Lang, as she gets fouled as she will go to the line. Now Johnson with her first foul. Lang on the line for two, makes the first one. The junior guard netted her first one. Jenna Hoffner checks in quickly for Ayanna Johnson. And that's the second one, tie ball game. And a minute 15 into this first quarter. As Criley streaks up court, gets fouled by Oakley. Will stop the play, but Profs will keep the possession. Criley having trouble inbounding. She finally gets it through to Seitzma. As Brown gets it back inside the Seitzma, right in the elbow. Thought about to give to Rowan on the outside. She does. Hoffner backing in. Now kick out. Long two, and that one's good. You want to get Rowan going early, and she's going to be feeling it for the rest of the game.
And that's what the Profs need. They need Rowan to really be feeling it here.
As Laureano will get the foul in the bucket. And we'll go to the line for one more. All knotted up at 4. As the free throw is good as well. We always talk about how the Profs faithful comes out. The Cougars faithful as well, showing out here in Esby. Criley losing it on the far wing. She falls to the ground. They were saying to travel, but it will be a jump ball. Profs will maintain possession.
Profs having a little bit of trouble with this Cougar defense. We saw that last week too, with Profs just weren't able to, well, they were getting those turnovers. And then we also saw, this Cougar team likes the offensive press. We'll see how the Profs handle it tonight.
2 minutes into this NJAC semi-final game. You're listening to Rowan Radio 89.7 WGLS-FM Glassboro. Criley will be inbounding it right in front of the Cougar bench. Just saw some of the members of the men's basketball team coming into Esby, cheer on the women's squad. Seitzma, on the far wing, drop off pass to Rowan and over to Brown. Brown at the top of the key, 5 on the shot clock, goes in, spins around a defender, a teardrop floater, good. What a move there for Kennedy Brown.
Beautiful spin move there by Brown. That's what the Profs need to do, drive the lane, get into the paint. That's how they're gonna score their points.
Got some space, has a great job for Brown and Seitzma to get in the passing lane. They didn't get the steal. It was blocked right into the bench of Rowan. Cougars gonna have to reset. Oakley, as it's gonna be a moving screen. Mariano not liking the call. The Profs will take it as Dominique Peters checking in. Second team all conference. Mariano with the foul, the first. Dominique Peters will check in for Kennedy Brown. Dominique Peters off the bench, really helping out the Profs this year. 10th best in points per game with 13-7. Got a lot of quality play off the bench from a lot of these Profs as Criley keeps her, didn't keep her pivot foot. It looked like she did at first, but she moved at the very last second as the pass was ahead of her. It's gonna be a turnover. Profs have the 1-point advantage. 7:20 left to go here in the first quarter. Profs playing some good defense, good perimeter defense as Oakley will finally find Lang at the top of the key. She's gonna drive right in. Great defense by Criley as she lost the ball inside the Foresta. Seitzma got a piece of it. Seitzma thought she got fouled, but here comes Criley, streaking up court, goes around the defender, couldn't get it as a offensive rebound by Hoffner. It got pushed out to Criley, threading the needle past the Rowan, and it's turned over. Here come the Cougars as Lang, floater, no good. An offensive rebound that was taken away by Hoffner. Rowan has it, and here comes Seitzma up to Criley. Stops, mid-ranger, good.
What a pace to start this game. And Kaylin Seitzma just being the playmaker so far in this game.
Setting him up as a travel violation. Give the ball right back to Rowan. It's 8-5, Rowan with the early lead. 6:24 left to go here in this first quarter. Profs starting out this quarter 4 for 5 from the field. 80%, nobody's taken a three-pointer yet. It's Hoffner over to Peters, to Seitzma. Throws it inside the Peters on the baseline, gets some contact and the foul. We'll go to the line for one more.
Once again, just get into the paint and good things will happen. That's what the Profs need to keep doing. We saw it last game too, and it's continuing here tonight. And once again, Kaylin Seitzma just being the playmaker.
Always starting things in the backcourt, making sure that you always want to try to get ahead quickly. They did the last couple of possessions. Ball was blocked by Peters as it goes out of bounds. Seitzma already with 1 assist and 1 rebound. Early points leader is Criley. 2 for 3. 11-5 lead, under 6 minutes left to go as a pass goes wayward to the far of the court. Stolen away by the Profs. Seitzma dribbling up. Gonna drop it off to Rowan, takes the first three-pointer of the game. That one almost nets in. It goes in, then hops back out as a rebound. Goes out to Foresta. Excuse me, that's McCoy. As pass over to Oakley. Oakley's gonna drive right in on Hoffner. A baseline shot by Lang. That one's no good, just a little short. As Seitzma having some trouble to get away from Lang. And they get it into their own end. Brown gets a little too excited there and a travel call. Three-pointer would have netted.
Already the 4th travel so far, not even 5 minutes into this game.
Profs and Cougars, it looks like both teams getting a little too anxious. They just want to drive right into the paint and How could you blame them, Tyler? The paint's wide open for both teams.
Yes, yeah, that's where you need to keep going for both of these teams. And what can you say? Just both of these teams' offensive possessions don't like to slow down. Just want to get right to the hoop.
12 on the shot clock, 3-point attempt, good. Shannon McCoy, and she made a lot of them last week. The 13th. That's ultimately what got the Cougars back to the game against the Profs, cut the deficit to 3. With 4:45 left to go in the first quarter is a steal by Oakley. Drop off pass to Forrest, a cross-court pass to McCoy, an open 3. Doesn't tie the ball game up, but gets an offensive rebound. Still going around, and rebound by Hoffner. Up court to Seitzma, passes behind her, she stopped. She goes right in and could not get the layup to go, gets her own offensive rebound. Peters, floater, no good, an air ball. Seitzma got fouled as she goes crashing to the floor after she put up a shot. No good, but we'll head to the line for 2.
Great fight there by Seitzma to go to the line. But if I'm the Profs, you can't leave McCoy open for 3. Last game, the Cougars only hit 6 3-pointers, and 5 of them were from McCoy. Profs need to make sure that she doesn't get an open look from beyond the arc.
McCoy, 5 for 15 from beyond the arc. Seitzma, second free throw, good as well. 2 points on the board, 13-8. Profs have it as they're gonna call a travel. It could have been either an offensive foul or a travel. They called it there a little bit late there as Oakley's still arguing with the referee.
I mean, if it wasn't going to be a travel, it's going to be an offensive foul. So take your pick there, really.
They'll be lucky it's not a foul because that could put the Profs right into the bonus. Still, though, the Profs will take it. Hoffner, the roll on. Over to Brown. She's on the baseline. Out to Seitzma. Back inside the Hoffner. No good. As the Cougars get a rebound. Poked away by Peters. And Foresta comes up with it. Over to Oakley. They get it across court finally. As Filio over to Lang. To McCoy. Step around and get out of here. Dominique Peters with the swat. She saw an open McCoy and said, no thanks.
Said, not in my house. And that's where you got to deal with McCoy getting that open look, but Peters was having nothing of it.
That's an energizer block there. Getting the crowd and the bench fired up. Oakley inside. Finally get it through to Lang. Lang, step around, jumper, no good. Duverglass just checked in, grabbed the rebound. Comes Brown, stops as Lang comes in. Try to poke it away, over to Duverglass to Roulon, now back to Brown at the top of the key. 17 on the shot clock, Duverglass, the free throw line. Drop off pass to Roulon. Roulon gets around a defender as she goes, drives baseline. We've got her shot blocked. It looked like she walked with the ball, but I think they're gonna call contact with the ball. It's basically like that Bradley Beal play where he took 5 steps. The referees did say, the officiating on Twitter did say that he did lose the ball, which it's all right, he took 2 more steps. Nevertheless, Brown out to Duverglass, 7 on the shot clock. Free throw line jumper, clanks off the front of the rim and out. Approaching 3 minutes left to go here in the first quarter. McCoy to Lang. She goes inside the 3-point line after getting a Rowan Prof to bite. Here comes Peters with it. Going coast to coast now to Byrne. Fake the 3, inside the Peters, lost it. Back out to Duverglass to Byrne as she intercepted Byrne's pass. As Brown has it on the near wing. Brown inside the Hoffner on the pick and roll. Over to Peters, couldn't get it. As Laureano finally got the rebound, getting trapped by Byrne and Peters, and they finally have it through. McCoy tapping the top of her head, setting up a play. 2.5 left to go in the first quarter. Score 13-8, Profs have it. Lang, over to Filio. How about a drop off to McCoy as Brown with the behind poke ahead. Gets a breakaway and the layup is good. Timeout called by Kean. It's gonna be a full timeout, so a quick step off. Can't believe this is only the first quarter action. We're still in it. This is Rowan Radio 89.7 WGLS FM. Quick break. We'll be right back here on your home for Prop Sports.
We are the coaches of women's basketball. We are leaders and teachers, dreamers and winners. We are professionals who conduct ourselves ethically and with integrity. We place the education, safety, and well-being of the athletes we coach above all else and teach them the fundamental values they need to succeed in life. We are coaches united for the good of our game and those who play it. We are the WBCA. We are leaders and teachers.
Rowan Radio 89.7 WGLS FM, 15-8. Your Profs have the lead. 2:13 left to go here, the first quarter. Hello, everybody. Joe Stoffberg alongside Tyler Cherowich. Tyler, it's been an exciting first quarter already, and it's not even over.
Man, what a start to this game. Crowd getting into it. Both teams actually are getting some pretty good looks, just not getting it to fall.
Especially for the Cougar squad, as they have two made field goals. One of them was a three-pointer. Everything else is coming from the line. Both teams also 3 for 3 from the charity stripe. 19 on the shot clock. Give to McCoy as Kean has it. Another pat on the head will set up a play. McCoy lost her dribble as the Profs take it away. Nicole Byrne with it and intercept the pass. A home run pass to Criley. She saves it as referee says that she stepped out. Criley has made a dozen of those during the season. She's really mastered the ability to just keep things in. The ball goes out of bounds. Couldn't keep it there though, as Oakley over to Olivero as they steal it. Profs have it. It's Peters as she got fouled, lost the ball, and into the bonus. One of the Profs, 2 shots for Dominique Peters is awarded.
The Profs doing a great job defensively, creating 9 turnovers by the Cougars. Just doing a great job defensively. So you gotta do, just keep your shape, force turnovers.
Peters, the junior guard from Lawrenceville, New Jersey, heads to the line, cashes in on the first one. For the year, Peters at the line, 60.5%. Proves it with 2 made free throws there. 1:34 left to go, the first quarter. Byrne, who was on Foresta, is going to drop it off to McCoy. She's just over the half-court line. Setting up once again another play. It looks like a lot of design plays are trying to come for the Cougars here. As Olivero tried to get it into Oakley. McCoy looking around, 10 on the shot clock. It's fired away from McCoy, and it's made.
What a shot by McCoy there, looking like a Steph Curry kind of shot there.
Doesn't need a lot of space, as Coach Lasella has said that, or at least said that once after the game against the Cougars the second time as a foul. Reach in. Olivero will give Nicole Byrne 2 shots at the line. We're under a minute left to go in the first quarter. 6-point lead, make it 7-point lead now for the Profs, as Juliette Tobin will head in for Dominique Peters. Tyler, like we said, a trip to the NJAC Championship final on the line, as the first or second free throw is netted as well. 2 for 2 at the line for Byrne. Both teams right now looking like they want it hard. As Oakley, they go to Foresta and McCoy. As McCoy has Tobin going the other way, an airball floater. Great play by Hoffner, but they get the offensive rebound. Oakley inside to Laureano as Duverglass jumped. They're actually not going to say it wasn't a bucket. The Profs got lucky right there.
Yeah, yes they did.
It was very close to being a shooting foul. Duverglass earns her first. Maybe because the shot fake got Duverglass to go up, but because it was a fake, it was on the floor.
Either way, great play by Loiano there, getting Duverglass to bite there. That was a great play by her.
Profs still have one more foul to give.
Starting to double team McCoy there.
As Olivero turns it over, trying to give it to McCoy. It's a 2-on-1. Now it's a 2-on-2 as Caldwell puts up a layup. Could not go. As the Profs get an offensive rebound, got fouled. And they will head to the line for 2 shots.
Just not getting that friendly roll so far during this quarter. Seen a lot of that for both teams so far.
Profs shooting 46% from the field. Kean only 23% as Criley misses her first one. Shot clock will be unplugged after this. 13.9 left to go in the first quarter. 19-11, Profs have the lead. Could reach the 20 mark with a made free throw from the sophomore guard from Fairlawn, New Jersey, nets it. 10 on the game clock. Over to McCoy. McCoy will cross. Lose it. Pick it right back up. Lang. 4 seconds left. Drop off. Oakley. 3. No good as time will expire. And that will do it for the first quarter of action, Tyler. We got 3 more quarters of this.
And I have no issues with that. What a game so far. What a first quarter. A long one, but a good one.
Quick step off, and we'll be right back with more women's basketball here on Rowan Radio 89.7 WGLS FM. Rowan Radio 89.7 WGLS FM. Joe Staudenberg with Tyler Cherowich. Got Elijah Brown in the WGLS studio. Just about to start the second quarter, and Tyler, you said it a couple of times. Shots weren't going down for both teams for a majority of them that were put up, but the Profs were able to get a 9-point lead going into the second quarter.
Yeah, just both teams not having the best of luck so far when it comes to shooting. Profs shooting 6 for 13, Kean 3 for 14. I think an interesting stat, we talked about getting points in the paint. Both teams did not have a point in the paint during that first quarter.
Got very close, but didn't get in, as the Cougars will start the second quarter with possession. Brown poked it away. Last touch was on her. Only 12 seconds have elapsed as Byrne getting right in the face of Lang. That's been the matchup really to watch, Lang against whoever. As ball will roll around. We'll get a friendly roll here in Esby. Byrne will bring it up. Drop off to Brown, as Brown has been the primary ball carrier for almost the whole entire season. Love the ball in her hands as she brings it up. Johnson back in, got the defender going one way, she went another. I think that's gonna be an over the back call. It's gonna be Cougars ball. Caldwell with her first.
You know, Johnson just needs to keep doing that too. Again, we keep talking about it. Points in the paint. Sooner or later they will drop, but that was just a good play by Johnson. A little unlucky to get that foul there.
McCoy getting double teamed now as a pass to Oakley was tipped as she got it back to Lang. The layup, no good. Johnson with the rebound. Brown going inside. It's a 3-on-2, but Brown's going to take it anyway. Just hits glass and goes wayward. That's it, as Hooks LaSalle not liking it, as McCoy is in some trouble in the backcourt, getting double teamed. The Cougars finally get it over, as I think the Profs have found the formula with, let's just double team McCoy I mean, that's the only way you're going to not allow her to get some space is Lang. Mid-range, it's actually going to be right on the elbow. Good. We'll cut the deficit to 5. 8.5 left to go in the second quarter.
Only thing with double teaming is you leave someone open. That's what happened right there. I mean, it's a good game plan, especially with how hot McCoy can be. You just need to double team her a little bit.
Caldwell, the outside, will drop it off to Tobin, right at the free throw line, kicked out to Brown, as there might be a moving screen. Yes, it will, as the Cross will turn it over once again. Coming in, Seitzman, Rowan, and Peters. It's back to the starting lineups for both teams. Oakley, McCoy, Foresta, Lariano, and Lang for the Cougars, as McCoy will send it and put it in.
She just said, you want to double team me, I'll still knock down those threes. Once again, another contested 3 that she makes.
Absolutely incredible. That's why she's the Rookie of the Year for the NJAC. As Peters nets a mid-ranger in. It's a 4-point game. Also getting a first-team all-conference nod as well, as McCoy will get a pick, a steal by Seitzma. Quick takeaway. Here come the props. Peters gets it off of a tipped pass. That one's no good, as Foresta will throw an elbow. Get right into Johnson. That'll be a foul on her, as that'll be her first. And just a little bit of an extension there of the elbow, Tyler, and that drew a foul.
And it is a foul, but Coach Kean for the Cougars just not liking that call.
As Peters gets the pass inbound, as a foul will be called on the Profs after they got the defensive rebound. The Cougars got the defensive rebound. Johnson, her second. As now it's going to be every time she gets a foul, Hoffner is going to come in. Johnson will have a seat. 7:16 left to go in the second quarter. Quick update. The other semifinal game, almost nearing the end of the second quarter. Rutgers Newark Scarlet Raiders has a lead over TCNJ as the shot was blocked. Get it out of here. Here come the Profs going the other way. Peters leading things as she loses the ball. To 2-on-1 now quickly. Seitzma comes over to 2-on-2. Brown gets a hand in the face to McCoy as an offensive rebound. Will double team inside Lang. Outside, Foresta for 3. That one's no good, and a offensive poke by the Cougars, but it goes out of bounds. Quick update as trying to get the same plays, but also too worry about the other game. A 7-point lead for the Scarlet Raiders. 25-18 over TCNJ. Minute and a half left to go at Packer Hall.
Could we see yet another top seed go down this NJAC playoffs?
We're gonna have to see just a little bit later. Profs need to worry about winning this one, as a travel on Peters will turn it over. Tyler, what'd you think about that one?
I've seen worse not get called, and I've seen, you know, Bradley Beal, you know.
Tough call, but it is made, as Seitzma will head off the court laughing.
Cougars doing a much better job so far in this second quarter, adjusting. They did this last week too, when they came on really strong during the second quarter. Profs not having a lot of answers so far.
Lang trying to get around Marshall, who just checked in. First time she's playing since January 9th of this year. Is 5 on the shot clock. Inside, great defense by Brown as the ball heads out of bounds. The last time that Marshall did hit the floor. 8 points, a steal, and an assist as well. And she's going to take the ball up. That's the last time she was in, January 9th, against the Cougars. As Brown will try to drive in. 3-on-1 as Brown puts it up. That one's no good, though. It's a 2-on-2 going back. As a floater is good for Lang. 2-point game, 5:34 left to go in the second quarter.
That was a great transition play there by the Cougars. You talk about points in the paint, trying to get into that paint. The Cougars are defending that paint really well.
Ball blocked out of bounds by the Cougars. Will stay with the Profs. Cougars, Tyler, just like you said with that last game against Kean, a big second quarter for the Cougars. 23 points. Got them right back into the game the last time out.
And so far, they're outscoring the Profs 9-2 in this quarter. They're doing the exact same thing as last week.
As out to Marshall for three. That one nets! Welcome back, Grace Marshall.
And what a way to make your presence known. Beautiful shot there to get the three. A much-needed three for the Profs.
She could be the key factor down the stretch. As she's got to play defense on Lang. Floater no good as a rebound by Hoffner. Gets it out to Criley as the pass was blocked by Lang. It goes right to Criley anyway. Criley takes the screen, goes in, up and under, no good. Jump ball, possession arrow with the Profs. And head coach Joe Crispin of the men's team walking through. Looking to see if this women's team can also make an NJAC championship final game, as Criley will take a screen from Hoffner, get some contact as well, but that one's no good. 4:25 left to play in the second quarter. 5-point lead for the Profs. McCoy, stop, give to Foresta, over to Oakley, wide open three, no good, an offensive rebound. Right outside of the paint, up and in, back to a 3-point lead. Here come the Profs, Grace Marshall to roll on, back to Marshall. Driving baseline as a foul, as Marshall drives baseline, misses the shot, but will head to the line for two. Under 4 minutes left to go here in the second quarter. Profs at the line today, 8 for 10, they get 9 for 11 with a make there, 4-point game.
You got to hit your free throws.
And she can't hit it there, just as you say that, Tyler. She misses.
Because we talked about in the pregame, Profs really struggle, on the free throw line. Doing much better tonight, though.
Achilles heel for the Profs as an airballed three, unlikely from McCoy, but turning garbage in the goal to underneath the basket. Are the Cougars putting it in? Gets her right back with a three, no good by Peters, an offensive rebound by Hoffner. Inside now to Peters and in. Anaya Moore with the layup for the Cougars on the other side. She's calling for it again as a foul on Rowan. Will stop the play. That's her first. Third foul of the quarter. Get it inside as a steal by Rowan. Helps the cause there. As Criley over to Rowan, thought about a three, kicks to Peters. Criley to Marshall's wide open in the corner, lost control of it, but she got it right back out to Criley. Criley, who also lost control of it, got the free throw line jumper. We're gonna say a push. Lang on the near side here is asking for a travel, trying to explain her case. But Criley will head to the line for two. Still a 4-point game now. Under 3 minutes left to go in the second quarter. Criley can't net her first. She's got 5 points, couple of rebounds. and an assist for this Profs team. Leader for the team in points, Dominique Peters, as she nets her second. As Brown will check in for Criley. We said while the free throws were being shot, under 3 minutes left as McCoy inbounded. Over to Lang. Lang gets it from Oakley. Moore to McCoy. McCoy will take a screen from Foresta. Still at the top of the key. Give it inside to Oakley as foul will be called. I don't know if it's going to be on the shot. I think it's going to be on the floor. Grace Marshall earns her first. Underneath the basket. Brought it into McCoy. Trying to get some space from Brown, which she does. Can't nail the free throw, or can't nail the three-pointer. 2.5 left to go. Ball sails out of bounds by the last touch Prof.
Prof's doing a great job defensively so far. After a rough start to this second quarter.
It's Lang. Floater, good. That was a great play there from Pace Lang. Inside to just approaching 2 minutes as Brown will have it. Top of the key, give to Rowan, drop back off to Brown. Tight defense is out to Rowan, that open three, and decides to fake it. And give out to Peters, got some space, and that three is good. A play from Dominique Peters, putting 3 points on the board, extending the lead to 6.
And the Profs needed that one. Haven't had anything in a little bit. That was a big three-pointer there.
McCoy calling for a screen. Give over to Lang. Lang to Moore. Moore back to McCoy and inside to Moore, but the pass blocked by Peters. Over to Lang as the inbounds pass. Rowan on her tight as a block, but they're going to call it foul instead. There's 7 on the shot clock.
From bound number 13, Libby Rowan. That's a second. Team's fifth. Number 2.
Lang will head to the line for a 2. 6-point lead for Rowan. And she nets her first, making a 5-point lead.
Wrong substitution number 11, Alexis Criley.
Minute 32 left in the second quarter as Criley checks in. Second free throw is nailed. Peters, Marshall, Criley, Hoffner, and Brown in for the Profs as Criley drops it off to Marshall, drives baseline. Inside the Peters, floater, can't rim in. Moore gets the rebound.
And that was a great pass there by Marshall. And then again, Profs just not getting that lucky roll.
Saw the floor very well and saw an open, streaking Peters. Just couldn't get the friendly roll there. 1 minute remaining left to go in the second quarter. Foresta. And couldn't get it to, from McCoy to Foresta. Ball sails out of bounds. Second quarter action here on 89.7. WGLS FM as ball to Peters goes over her head. Luckily she's able to get it back as Criley. Over to Peters, right on the free throw line, takes the jumper, that one's good. Got some space, you might as well take it.
Got some space, like you said, might as well take it. Right after she wasn't expecting that pass from Kennedy Brown.
Lang
And
over to Moore as they're gonna call it travel before the shot.
And yet another travel in this game. That one was pretty clear and obvious.
Profs getting out rebounded just by 3. The offense and the defensive side. 16 turnovers by the Cougars. Doesn't help their cause. Down by 6. Shot clock's unplugged, 13 seconds left. Brown takes a screen from Hoffner. As we're gonna call a walk. Close play there. Brown thought that she held her pivot foot there. Did not, as Foresta, a heave down court to Lang. Nobody's in the paint as she goes up for the layup. No good. Rebound to Peters, now to Brown. Brown, half court heave, or almost a full court heave. But that will do it for the second quarter action. Profs still have to the line 14 times, made it 10 of them. The percentages there for the Cougars, but obviously more opportunities for the Profs, as an opportunity there as the Cougars started the third quarter with the ball. The Profs force a steal, and here come the Profs to start things back up as Ayanna Johnson gets it inside, outside to Rowan. Over to Seitzma, and Criley will set things up. 14 on the shot clock, inside to Seitzma, outside the rule line as she's gonna drive baseline. Spin around, give to Seitzma. Over to Criley, 3, air balls as Johnson thought about saving it, but she knew that the ball was way out of her reach, so she didn't even try.
I mean, that was still good ball movement there by the Profs, but fortunately that shot, there's just nothing doing on that one.
Just couldn't find an opportunity anywhere. They locked down Cougar defense. Got in the way of the Profs' shots. 45 seconds have elapsed as Oakley will drive in, get the foul, an early foul by the Profs. We'll have the first of the quarter as Ayanna Johnson with her third, as something that we've been talking about over and over. Johnson can't stay out of foul trouble.
And she is not happy coming off. You saw a little bit of an eyeball there. I mean, she did foul out last game against this Cougar team. She adds a lot offensively and defensively, but again, gotta watch those fouls.
She's such a big asset to the team. But you also have to take a look at the bench, that anybody can just step up, the next person up, next player up mentality. As a missed layup, Hoffner got the rebound. Criley over to Seitzma, 3, no good, rebounded by Brown. Brown gets the rebound, put it up, no good, as Oakley, backcourt, gets it up to Foresta. Oakley to McCoy. Brown playing very tight on her, gets around a pick to Lang, to Laureano. Oakley to the far wing. McCoy got some space, takes it, and the 3 no good. Criley with the rebound. Home run pass to Brown as she's gonna slow it up, let her teammates come. Right? Awareness there as Brown will drive to the hole, get the bucket.
What you gotta do is drive to the hole, get that bucket. A little bit of a lucky shot there, but it doesn't matter, it still rolls in.
We'll take it as, he's trying to say that it was a walk. Coach LaSalle didn't like it. McCoy drops off to Lang. Euro steps and floater, no good. Rebound by Rowan. As she thought about passing up court, she realized she didn't even take a dribble, so she takes it herself. As Brown gets it at the top of the key. Screen from Seitzma. Inside the Hoffner, she goes right in, outside the rule line. She had a fingertip on it. Didn't have full control as Hoffner backing in her defender as in a called charge. Laureano set her feet right outside of the restricted area. Hoffner backed right in. Very close to the restricted area in the paint, but a good call there. And the Cougars take possession. Brown will cover Oakley as they get it outside to Lang. Lang being covered by Seitzma, drop off to McCoy. They switched up the defensive matchup as now Rowan. Now Seitzma goes running after McCoy as Seitzma fouls her. Shot clock reset to 30. I kind of like that little bit of mentality, though, by Seitzma after knowing that McCoy might get some space to try to nail a three-pointer. We'll reset everything, and now we'll try to force somebody else to take the shot.
That's what we got to do, just keep staying on McCoy. And each possession so far during this third quarter. The Profs have a different person on McCoy each time.
McCoy and Oakley have not been subbed out as a steal by the Profs. Here comes Seitzma, knocks it on the bottom of the backboard. As two referees will go right outside to the three-point arc to discuss it. As they're going to get Sydney Foresta with the foul. And 2 shots at the line for Seitzma. First one up and good. 9-point lead for the Profs. 23 minutes for both Oakley and McCoy as Peters will check in for Criley. Criley tells her something before heading off to the bench. Under 7 minutes left to go here in this third quarter. Free throw also good from Seitzma. As the inbound almost goes out of bounds, McCoy finally got a hand on it as now to Filio for 3.
Yet another contested three-pointer for this Cougar team. Another great shot by them.
The threes just keep coming as it seems like no matter what with the defense, they're still going to try to hit it as Brown will get a couple of screens. Out to Seitzma, 8 on the shot clock as the pass was tipped. As Hofter had it before the jump ball, Seitzma needs a 3. She got it! Are you kidding me? The shot clock was winding down. Seitzma says, let's just see what happens, and puts it in. Big three-pointer by Caitlin Seitzma.
From all the way downtown to restore this 10-point lead for the Profs.
From Rowan Boulevard, the 3 goes down. 5:45 left to go here in the third quarter. 10-point lead for the Profs. Plays great defense on Filio as Peters got pushed. Trying to get the rebound. They're going to say it's a travel. Peters got pushed a little bit, and they're going to change the call. They're going to change it.
I'm not sure about that one. Coach Stella not happy about that one.
Not happy at all.
I have to agree with her there.
5:35 left to go here in the third quarter. Still a 10-point lead. McCoy's trying to get some space off of Brown. Brown playing very good defense. Filio gets a screen. Keeps her pivot foot as goes around, finds Foresta. How about a drop-off pass to Foresta as Oakley now has it. Hofter, great defense inside, and there's a foul.
Again, great defensive structure by the Profs, but Cougars is taking it to him right now.
As Byrne looking to check in. So Rowan will come in. Rowan finds her third foul. We said this multiple times, we'll say it again, a trip to the NJAC Championship final on the line as Oakley hits her first. Opportunity for one more. That one's no good. Clanks off the back of the rim. Rebound by Seitzma. Seitzma gets around a defender, out to Byrne, but it was intercepted. McCoy goes one-on-one with Brown. Brown with the defense! Swatted away, might have got a piece of it. It was Brown. Byrne got the rebound. As Brown, the other end, no good. Gets her own rebound, out to Byrne. 3, no good. As was a rebound by the Cougars, the Profs try to take it away. Foul is called. I believe it's going to be on Rowan.
Still great pressure by the Profs. Both teams are playing really well right now. Crowd getting into it, really electric so far here.
They say that's Rowan's 5th foul. And it looks like the Cougars will head to the line for 2 points as into the bonus goes the Cougars, or because of the 5th foul by Rowan. First one up and good. It's an 8-point lead. Oakley at the line, trying to make her second on this trip. 3 for 4 on the game. 2 for 2 at the line that trip. 4:44 left to go in the 3rd quarter of play. Still a lot of time left as Peters looked up as the floater's no good, and a steal by the Profs. Seitzma drops it off to Brown. Brown is there, it's 20 on the shot clock. Over to Peters. Almost lost control, she's gonna spot up. Long, too good. Back to a 9-point lead. Profs have it as Kean almost loses it, goes out of bounds, almost goes out of bounds, as Foresta almost loses it here on the near court. As a timeout will be called. That's a smart timeout by head coach Mandy King. It's a 30-second timeout. We're going to keep things here.
That was a really smart one, because if she didn't call that, they would have been in trouble. Almost a travel there, but she got the timeout just in time.
You had 4 timeouts at that point. I only have 3, but still a lot of time left to play. And we know Coach Lasella always saves her timeouts, so I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see any of them go here in this 3rd quarter unless a huge run is sparked by the Cougars. But last couple of minutes, the Profs have been putting up shots, and they've been good. They're looking good, and they've been going down.
Yeah, exactly, and we didn't see enough of that during the 1st and 2nd quarters. I mean, the Profs, they were getting good looks all game, just weren't able to get them to go down. Different story so far during this 3rd quarter.
4 minutes left to play in the 3rd quarter. 34 are the Cougars, but you add 9, that's Rowan's total. Oakley will inbound it right at half court on the near side. Pass to Filio, Foresta, Laureano, and McCoy out there. Brown, Peters, Seitzma, Hoffner, and Byrne in for the Profs. As Laureano finds Foresta on the near court. 1 on the shot clock. It was a long 2. It was a shot clock violation. As Seitzma and Byrne looked around and they saw they heard a whistle. They looked around so confused as the referee was patting his head for a shot clock violation. They thought they did something wrong.
I mean, that was a great play by Seitzma there as she comes off there for Criley. I mean, again, Profs doing a great job keeping that defensive structure here during this 3rd quarter.
3:40 left to go in the 3rd quarter of play. And last touch by Criley as the drop-off pass was there for her. He might have kicked off the knee. As the Cougars will inbound it in front of the Rowan bench. McCoy trying to get around a couple of defenders. They get it across. Going one-on-one, Brown on McCoy. The screen set, Filio to Oakley. Oakley trying to find open space. Passes to Filio, another block by Peters. As they get it right back, Foresta puts it up, puts it in for 2.
Unlucky there for the Profs. Peters, another block there. Again, defensively doing really well for the Profs, but just an unlucky break there.
The defense is there. You got to capitalize on it and get the ball back as Peters spotting up for 3. That one air balls. 2:53 left to go in the 3rd quarter, 43-36.
And what a great game this has been so far.
Profs now have the rebound advantage, 26-24. Peters, a game high 16 points. As a pass now inside, Filio out for 3. That one clinks off the front of the iron. 2.5 left to go in the 3rd quarter. Criley Going up court, cross-court pass. Byrne thought about a three as her initial shot wasn't even touched. Her first looked like it was going to be a shot faked. Step to the right, and that one got blocked as McCoy goes inside, gets fouled, and will head to the line for two. Rowan has been scoreless the last 2 minutes. Need to find a couple of buckets to end this third quarter on a good note. But the first free throw up and good from McCoy can tie Peters for the game high. For makes here as McCoy misses her second as Laureano gets the rebound inside to Foresta as she gets fouled. Gotta grab the defensive rebound.
Yeah, you gotta grab those defensive rebounds. And if you don't, exactly what happens here. Cougars have the opportunity to get 3 points here.
McCoy initially goes 1 for 2 at the line as Foresta nails her first as she put up the missed free throw, got fouled again. Foresta misses it again. And another offensive rebound. Foresta had it, lost it in the last touch by Rowan. Kean will have and stick with the possession. Inside to Oakley. Shot clock is back at 30 as McCoy. Three, no good. As Foresta inside gets two. It's a 3-point game.
We talked about how well the Profs have been doing defensively. They're losing their structure now.
Just inside the 3-point arc, no good. A poke from Criley as the ball to the Cougars. Inside Foresta, no good. Last touch by the Cougars.
Profs just need to settle down here a little bit. Criley with a little bit of a forced shot on the other end. And then defensively, you got to get your defensive boards here. Cougars taking advantage of it. That's why it's only a 3-point lead now for the Profs.
You have the lead, might as well just need to start wasting some time. Criley doesn't there as the missed layup, no good as a foul. Now we'll send the Cougars to the line over the bonus, or into the bonus. Hoffner's third, and now you have Johnson with 3, Hoffner with 3. You go to the bench and maybe throw Duverglass in now.
I feel like you kind of have to at this point. I mean, both of them have 3 fouls. I mean, you can't afford for either of them to foul out in such a close game here. And another lucky roll there.
Casey Filio. Minute and a half left to go. She misses there, and finally the Profs get a missed free throw for a defensive rebound. Criley over to Hoffner as pass into the arms of Hoffner. Oakley's hand got in there right before the jump ball should have been called. Marshall will inbound it out to Criley. Had the defender jumping. That one's no good though, as it's just inside the 3-point arc. 1:10 left to go in the third quarter. Kean can take the lead with a 3, tied up with a 2, as they're gonna call Brown for a foul.
I know if you're the Profs want to be aggressive defensively, but they're being a little bit too aggressive so far, especially when the Cougars are already in the bonus. Can't be giving up silly fouls like that.
The way that the Cougars are also playing, don't forget this team is a 6th seed. Number 6 at number 2. As a first free throw, no good from McCoy. We also have another great matchup tonight. The number 1 seeded TCNJ Lions hosting number 4 seeded Rutgers Newark Scarlet Raiders. Raiders, however, have a 10-point lead. Shot up and good for McCoy. It's a 1-point game. Jessica Beck into the mix with a minute left to go in this third quarter. Beck over to Peters. Marshall's open for three, but decides to keep it. Beck now with it, great defense to Peters. One-on-one with Foresta. 10 on the shot clock. She's gonna go to the hole and got fouled. Still had a couple of fouls to give.
And that was really the only thing Peters could do. I mean, Cougars, no open lanes.
At all.
No, that was really all that she can do.
Profs have been scoreless now for 3.5 minutes as Marshall inbounds to Peters. Scoreless no more as Peters gets inside, puts it up for two.
And that was much needed there, much needed.
Lang over, Filio, bang. Tie ball game. 25 seconds left here in the quarter. Marshall will drive in, stop at the three-point line and give out to Peters. Beck is calling for it, but Peters is going to take it herself. Peters will go one-on-one, take a screen, take another screen by Beck. 8 on the clock. Peters, hook shot in, and good. 3 seconds left. McCoy driving up court. They're going to call a foul. A foul with .1 on the clock.
And if you're Grace Marshall, I mean, you know what they're trying to do. They just need to let her go. There's a 10th of a second left on the clock.
McCoy will head to the line for 2.1 left on the clock, left here in this third quarter. As the first free throw up and good. Tie ball game with a make free throw here. Good. As the horn sounds, we're going to take a break. 47 all as the Profs and Cougars will battle it out the final quarter for one team, and the other team moves on. Don't go anywhere. Things are about to get interesting. Right here on Rowan Radio 89.7 WGLS FM. Tie ball game, 47-47. After the Profs led at half. Led after the first, led after the second. And a tie ball game as the Cougars slowly but surely have come back. The Cougars are known for their comebacks. They did it against Rowan for the last couple of games. They've been making comebacks. Against Rowan, come back and unfortunately lost that one. Came back and beat Montclair, known for their upsets this playoff race. Listen to Rowan Radio 89.7 WGLS FM. Joe Staudenberg, Tara Cherowich, Liz Brown in WGLS Studio Live. And Ayanna Johnson turning around, spinning around, and putting it up. No good. We'll head to the line for two. Known for their comebacks the last couple of games, Tyler, and upsets too. Beating Montclair State, the team that has dominated the NJAC the past 6 years. No matter what, a new NJAC champion will be crowned this year. All depends on now who.
And right now, the Cougars are showing that that win against Montclair was no fluke. I mean, they are playing the Profs really well, especially, and again, for the Profs. as Johnson misses the free throw there.
2 of them. As here comes McCoy. McCoy with some space going right inside. Great defense by Seitzma as a defensive rebound by Johnson. To 2-on-2, Criley, Brown coming up against Filio and Laureano as they're unable to get that shot to go as Laureano knocked down in the backcourt as McCoy. Great defense there by Brown as Criley. Now on Oakley, Laureano to Lang. They're going all the way over to the other side of the court. They're going to say McCoy with a foul. That's her second. I think it was a push. There's a lot of tight coverage, tight play. Tough possessions as Johnson will head to the bucket as another foul.
Already 3 fouls for the Cougars, not even a minute in. That could be huge down the stretch.
Didn't look like it was on the Cougars at first, but
I thought it was on Profs, to be honest.
I saw a Cougar go underneath the basket to inbound it. Nevertheless, a foul on Laureano as Seitzma around, finding Roulon, putting it up. Bang! Profs get the lead right back with a big 3 from Olivia Roulon. Here comes Lang. Outside, Filio to answer back. No good. Rebound by Johnson. Up towards Criley. Now to Brown. Brown over to Roulon. Back to Brown. Thought about a 3. Will go up. Got fouled. We'll head to the line for 2 after the missed layup.
So far, much better by the Profs. I mean, they're getting those good looks. And then what can you say about Ayana Johnson? I mean, they're going to need her down the stretch. I know she has 3 fouls, but they need her to be careful because she's going to be pivotal down the stretch here.
First free throw up and good for Brown.
That's nothing the Profs need to do down the stretch. You need to hit your free throws. You talked about the struggles they've had over the course of the season with their free throws.
That one goes up as well. Tyler, we look at the team shooting 70% from the free throw line this game as Lang will drop it off to McCoy. As Criley will go one-on-one with her. Ball is now swung over to Filio. Seitzma on her, giving her a little bit of room as falling there is Criley, slipping up just a little bit as McCoy knocks down another 3.
Well, we know McCoy doesn't need much. All it took was a split-second slip there by Criley. And an easy 3 for McCoy there, easy for her.
Seitzma over to Roulon, thought about a 3. Back to Seitzma. Thought about a drop off to Criley as they get it inside. A little bit too much heat on that pass from Seitzma, trying to get it inside to Johnson. Oakley almost losing it there as Lang has it. Drop off pass to McCoy as Tyler, the Profs are not double teaming McCoy as we saw it in the second quarter. Everything dropped off at that third. They're letting Brown go one-on-one with her.
I think you do need to double team her. She was cold for the longest time.
Inside to Foresta with 3 on the shot clock, putting it up and in. Tie ball game once again, all knotted up at 52.
That was some great ball movement there by the Cougars. A little bit of a pass and cut.
As Brown saves it before it goes right out of bounds. She's going to drive in, floater off the glass, no good. As a foul will be called. I believe Johnson, that's her 4th foul.
It doesn't seem, yep. Coach LaSalle is going to take her out with 7:04 left, which could be the smart move. You can't afford for her to foul out in a game like this. You need to save her until later on in the 4th quarter.
Maybe the 2-minute mark is where the mark you want to be, unless you want to play things a little bit dangerously. And they go 5 minutes, 3 minutes, anything, as Marshall's going to check in. And Tyler, we said in the beginning of the game, is Grace Marshall going to be the key factor? She's already knocked down a couple of shots, and she's in here with 7 minutes left to play. Need a crucial couple of stops. Peters in there as well. Hoffner, Rowan, and Criley. This Filio's going to go right at Hoffner. No good to get the offensive rebound. Shot no good as well. Goes right out to Filio. McCoy for three. That one nets. Last touch by the Cougars as it goes out. They're trying to get it up court.
Once again, the Profs had 3 different opportunities to grab that defensive rebound. Weren't able to do it, and that's exactly what happened, especially when you have a player like McCoy in your team. They'll make you pay for it.
Criley, after the inbound, will take the mid-ranger, no good. Need to start settling for some easier shots as double teamed by Marshall and Roulon on McCoy. We'll give it off to Lang. Lang out to Filio for an open three. That one's good. Timeout, Rowan.
A smart timeout there by Coach Gisela. They have lost all momentum. With 6:14 left to go in the 4th quarter.
Still have a lot of time left to go. 6:15 here in the 4th quarter. You're listening to Rowan Radio 89.7 WGLS FM. We'll be right back after this. Or we will keep it here on 89.7 WGLS FM. 58-52. The Cougars have the lead over the Profs, 58-52. Tyler, what's been the last couple of minutes for the Profs?
Not getting the defensive rebounds. I mean, I know Cougars only have 2 offensive rebounds so far during this quarter, but both of them have led to 3-pointers, and that's why the Cougars have this 6-point lead. 3 for 4 from beyond the arc so far during this 4th quarter. And again, the Profs just not getting anything offensively, not getting the shots, forcing passes, and just turning the ball over.
6:14. Rowan has been scoreless the last 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Made one of their last 4 field goal attempts. One of their last 4 3-pointers as well as Peters getting some contact and will go in, get the bucket.
And that's what you need to do if you're the Profs. Just go to the lane, try to get that easy layup.
Get as many buckets as you can and make sure they're easy ones. As Oakley will drop it off to McCoy. McCoy will give it off to Oakley after a tipped pass as the ball goes out of bounds. Nice touch by the Profs. 13 on the shot clock. Although we do say that there's a lot of time, it's going to start dwindling down soon. And you don't want to be on that chase from behind mentality as Peters will take McCoy one-on-one. Foresta will go on. Hoffner get it out of here. She gets her own rebound, fade away, can't roll around. As Hoffner, I believe with the rebound, and Foresta will go over the back. That puts Rowan into the bonus, so the next time that the Profs will have possession and get fouled no matter what. Profs will go to the line. That's going to be crucial. There's only 1 foul for the Profs. 1 team foul, and then now 5 for the Cougars. Or are they actually going to say that Hoffner had possession of it? They're saying that Hoffner had possession of the rebound. And of that foul, Hoffner heads to the line. Doesn't make it. First one, no good.
Gotta start hitting these free throws. Gotta start hitting them.
Foresta's got 4 and heads off. 5:27 left to go here in this 4th quarter. Hoffner at the line, quick. The shot, that one's no good. An offensive rebound as Marshall tried to save it. It goes out of bounds. Hoffner 0 for 2 at that free throw trip. Oakley to Filio. Thought about getting double teamed, but they're gonna leave that to, I guess, McCoy, as Marshall going one-on-one with her. But they're setting up a play. Filio got some space, but instead passes it. McCoy's covered by Peters. As they set a screen, McCoy's trapped in the corner. They get it out. 5 on the shot clock. Ball is tipped out of bounds by Peters.
And much better defense there by the Profs. Much better.
I really like that matchup with McCoy and Peters. They hold her right there as Oakley look up. Filio, long 3, it air balls. Shot clock violation, possession arrow, or possession goes to the Profs. Under 5 minutes left to go. We're halfway through this, Tyler. Profs down 4. Strap in. Brown. Look around. Everybody's calling for a travel, but saw a clean play as Peters, free throw line jumper, no good as they get the rebound. It's a 2-on-1. Oakley up and layup, no good. Can't roll around, didn't get the offensive rebound as McCoy put up a shot. Last touch by Kean. As the Profs, they play a little bit of a dangerous game here by putting Johnson in 4 fouls. 4:25 left to go in this 4th quarter. And if you're the Cougars, I'm thinking go right at Ayanna Johnson every possession. As Marshall will dribble all the way up, won't even get contested. Passes out as she was falling down. No call. Here comes Lang. Brown with great defense puts up 2. 4:10 left to go. Marshall bringing it up. Profs down 6. Need to take 1 possession at a time as Marshall ran into Peters, as she's still going to take it. Takes a screen inside, backdoor pass to Rowan. No good, an offensive rebound. She put it up, that one's no good.
Profs are getting the looks, but yet again, they're just not getting it to go down.
As Lang over to Oakley, open 3, no good. An offensive rebound. There's a kick out to McCoy for 3. That one's no good as Johnson comes down with the rebound, got fouled. Johnson will head to the line for 2 as Laureano on the ground in the backcourt. Have our teammates help her up on that one. Crunch time for both teams as we're approaching 3.5 left to go. Johnson this year at the line, 34 for 79, 43% on the year. First one up and it can't rim in.
Wow, so that's not getting anything to go in for him lately.
That switch of the bucket, Tyler, has not helped the Profs as Johnson cashes in on the second one. Makes it a 5-point game.
Even if it's just one, that's still a big make for him.
Anything to claw your way back in as defense there on Filio by Peters. You get it over to McCoy, screen is set. McCoy will go in as a big block on Laureano. Last touch by the Profs. As the Profs, his last touch was actually, oh, it looked like Marshall was gonna inbound it. I thought the referee rebound as on this way, Dominique Peters on the ground, grabbing her ankle.
And that doesn't look good.
As Peters has not gotten up. As Peters has been huge for this team all year, coming off the bench. Second team all conference. Gonna need help getting up to her feet.
She can't
she cannot, she can barely put any pressure on it. Dominique Peters will head to the bench. And a standing O here in Esby. She barely made it to the bench. Whatever it is, it's not good, Tyler, and I don't think we're going to see Peters for the rest of the game.
And that's a huge loss for the Profs. She's been playing so well this whole game. And you need her down the stretch. We just hate seeing injuries like that.
Sites will come in for Peters. As the play will resume. 3:07 left to go in this fourth quarter. Oakley over to Laureano to Lang. Give to McCoy. 12 on the shot clock. Need to stick her tight. Gets a screen. As McCoy, they're going to call a travel. Looked like the referees were going the other way. It's actually going to be a push on Ayanna Johnson. That's number 5. Everybody looked like they were going the other way. The referee put his hand up.
And that is another big loss for the Frost with 2:48 to go in this fourth quarter.
Profs only have 4 players out there right now as Hoffner will check back in. Profs are still down 5 as the Cougars have a fresh 30 here. McCoy try to find some space around Brown. As all the Profs are going to do now, or the Cougars are going to do now, try to waste some time. Kick out to Filio. Filio had some space, but instead kicks it over to Oakley. Oakley trying to find some space. Filio for 3. No good. Hoffner with the rebound. Up to Criley. To 3-on-3 as Brown gets it. Far wing, drives inside, kisses it off the glass and in. It's a 3-point game. Quick final, Rutgers Newark has beaten TCNJ at home as Filio over to Oakley, an open paint for Laureano. It's no good, an offensive rebound, and it's gotten out to Filio. And a fresh 30 with 2 minutes left for the Cougars.
Again, the Profs needed to grab that. They had the opportunity to, and now the Cougars can waste more time off the clock.
Filio to Laureano, Oakley at the high point.
And if you're the Profs, no fouls here.
Lang will go in. They're going to say a foul, but there's an offensive rebound, and they're going to say a shooting foul for Lang. It looked like Rowan didn't know where the ball was. Couldn't get the rebound, which forced the Cougars to get it. Made free throw, it's a 4-point game. .136 left to go here in the fourth quarter. Profs are down but not out as Lang misses the second free throw. It's back to a 4-point game. Criley, as Peters is checked back in. Might have been just a cramp, Tyler, as Peters. Pass the Rowan, no good, as Peters gets the offensive rebound. She will go in, kick to Criley, and that one is good. Profs down 2 with 1:12 left to go in the fourth quarter.
And Dominique Peters, she's not even limping anymore. I mean, she is going to, what a great play by her to keep the play alive.
They're playing with pain or whatever it is, she's back on the court. As an offensive foul, great play by Rowan on the defense. A little bit of elbow, got the foul. As the Profs will take a timeout. 30 seconds, doesn't matter, we're staying here. Tyler.
Man, oh man.
Under a minute here at SB Gym. As somebody said, it's Upset Thursday. Things are not over yet.
Things aren't over, but again.
At least here in SB.
Again, 57 seconds left. Again, plenty of time, honestly. Plenty of time, but if you're the Profs, you need to be smart with the upcoming offensive possessions. You can't rush anything. don't try to rush 4-3. We see a lot of teams try to do that. Just try to go into the lane, try to get that easy layup, and you got to play great defense. You're still, and another thing, they're still in the bonus. Try to drive to the lane, try to get those fouls. And again, you got to hit your free throws down the stretch. We can't stress that enough.
If you haven't buckled your seatbelt yet,
You better buckle them.
the light is going off. Profs down 2. We're under a minute. Profs have it. Peters looking around, will drive in. The floater is good! Tie ball game! 61 all! McCoy over to Oakley. Rule on. No foul. You cannot foul here. As Foresta over to Oakley. Esby starting to rise as the layup no good. An offensive rebound. McCoy got some space for 3. That one no good. As a rebound for Peters. They're going to say it was not a foul. The shot clock back to 30 as the Cougars will take over. And a timeout is called by the Cougars. If you're the Profs, you have basically one more foul to give. I think for right now, if you want to try the foul or try to get a steal or something and and that's a foul, it doesn't matter because you're not into the bonus quite yet. So I think you got to be quick with it, because after a second, basically, this might be the last shot.
Yeah, exactly.
No matter what, it's probably, if Kean is smart, this might be a last shot. You don't give Rowan an opportunity to try to get a game-winning shot.
Exactly.
But Rowan's obviously hoping for it.
I mean, if I'm the Cougars, again, 30.4 left on the game clock, 30 left on the shot clock, they could easily hold on to it for the last shot. I feel like that's what they're going to try to do. But again, if you're the Profs, just keep your defensive shape. And again, and if there's a rebound, you need to get the defensive boards. That's what's been killing them so far.
Right now,
in the fourth quarter.
I think your best defender is Dominique Peters.
And this is where not having Ayanna Johnson could hurt him.
Absolutely, as McCoy will get the inbound. This might be the last shot as McCoy will have it, wasting a lot of time. Brown right at half court with her. Clock at 18. McCoy will go one-on-one with Brown. She's still wasting a lot of time. She's gonna drive in. They're gonna say a foul was called with 10.7. Now Kean, no matter what, will try the hold for the last shot. Big possession here for Kean. All tied up at 61. We're at the fourth quarter. 10.7. Pass out to McCoy. Last touch by the Profs as it's poked away. Now we're under 10 seconds. 9.9.
Just keep doing that. You just got to keep doing it.
As another timeout will be called by Kean. I think once again, it's an opportunity to try to draw up a play for McCoy. We all know it's going to go to her.
I mean, it pretty much has to go to her. I mean,
if it doesn't, it's just a way to try to fake out Rowan. But I think if you want to put the ball in the hands of your best shooter, it's McCoy right now.
Yeah, I mean, again, we talked about it. McCoy has really just caught fire during this second half. After the Profs were double teaming her during the second quarter, there was just nothing going for her whatsoever. But now, again, you look at McCoy, 19 points so far in the game. I mean, you want the game winner, she's your best bet right now.
.9, 61 all, a trip to the NJAC Championship Tournament on the line. McCoy gets the inbounds. Brown with the steal, it's a jump ball. It's actually going to be out of bounds. The Profs will have one last possession.
Coach Lasella immediately calls the timeout. What a change of events here with 5 seconds to go. And what a defensive stop there by the Profs, where it seemingly was all about the Cougars holding on for that last shot. And once again, what a change of events here. 5.5 to go. Plenty of time for the Profs to draw up a game winner here.
Tyler, I'm calling to you. If you're Coach Lasella, what do you draw up?
That's a good
Or at
question.
least who do you draw it up to?
Honestly, I'm not just saying this to be sentimental. I think you have to give it to Dominique Peters. I mean, either Dominique Peters, Kennedy Brown, they have both been the offensive catalyst so far in leading this comeback, especially when it looked bleak here for the Profs down the stretch. And you look at the Profs bench, they're all behind each other. This crowd about to be on their feet.
One team moves on. One team goes home. The winner going to the NJAC Championship Final. Inbounding it here on the near side. Criley, as it's a gift to Peters, and they intercepted it. A pass up court. Brown has it. Half court heave. No matter what, it won't count. As Peters got the ball taken away right at the last second. 61-61, we're heading to overtime.
Just gonna assume that's not how Coach Lasella drew it up. But I mean, hey, Profs looked weak down the stretch. They got this game into overtime. It's gonna be a little bit tough without Ayanna Johnson, but again, it's anyone's game. Got 5 more minutes.
Once again, we'll say that the Rutgers Newark 52, TCNJ 45. Rutgers Newark will either host if Kean wins. If Rowan wins, Rowan will host. 5 minutes left in possibly one of these teams' seasons, unless somehow, some way, there's a double overtime.
And once again, just what a game this has been. Just like last week, last Wednesday, final regular game this season, just both teams just going at each other. Both these teams have so much in common. And I'm excited to see the finish of this game.
The Profs were down 6 with about 3 minutes left to go, and have fought their way back. Thought about getting a last-second shot off. Couldn't. The ball was turned over by both teams as Brown tried to put up a half-court heave at the last second. Didn't make it, wouldn't have counted anyway. Heading to overtime. Profs, Cougars, right here, right now. Hoffner versus Laureano for the tip. Profs will go from right to left, the Cougars the other way as Rowan tries to slap it ahead to McCoy. And just like for the Profs, no Ayanna Johnson. They're going to pass it out to Filio for 3. To start off overtime, the three-pointer is good.
Profs lost defensive structure there. Left a couple men open there.
Pass up to Hoffner and dropped off to Peters at the high point. Gonna stop, take the 3 as those blocked. It's an open lane. Foresta was down court. They couldn't get it through. A poke by Brown as a takeaway by the Profs. Rowan looking around as she picks it up. As just a pass up to Brown, the play resets. Drop off to Rowan. Rowan's gonna go in. Floater, no good, an offensive rebound. Brown puts it up, and that one's no good off the glass. Foresta with the rebound. Pass up to Filia, wide open. No good, as Laureano controls the offensive rebound. Foresta out to Filio, thought about a 3 once again. Drop off pass to McCoy. McCoy looking around, the NJAC Rookie of the Year. Passing off to Foresta. Foresta off to McCoy as she drives in. Got the friendly rolling in. Profs almost in the same exact position right now as they were in regulation as Peters gets it in to Criley.
Profs just not looking good defensively so far in this overtime.
Criley drops it off to Brown. Brown, free throw line jumper. That one was blocked. As it's an open lane for Filio. Pass off to Foresta, no good as they get another offensive rebound. McCoy loading up for three. That one's no good as Foresta puts the offensive rebound up and in. The Profs have still yet to score with 3 minutes left to go.
And this is not a good overtime period for the Profs. Just rushing their shots, not playing well defensively, and again, not getting those defensive boards.
Hoffner at the point, pass to Brown. Brown looking around, takes a screen from Hoffner, loses the ball. As the ball goes sailing, McCoy holds it as going to the rim now with it. As Hoffner gets in there for a jump ball, possession arrow. Oh, and he calls a foul! One referee was signaling jump ball. Referee here on the near court has a foul.
I'm not sure about that one.
68-61. Bangs home a free throw. Foresta makes the first one. As Byrne will check in for Rowan. 8 minutes left. Or excuse me, 8-point lead for the Cougars. As there's 2.5 minutes left, making a 9-point lead now, 70-61. And the Hoffner. Hoffner back to Peters. Just need a clean bucket. As Peters gets a screen from Hoffner, mid-range jumper, good for Peters. 7-point lead. Cougars need to waste some clock to try to secure a victory. Winner stays in this NJAC Championship Tournament. Byrne playing Filio hard. 2 minutes left. Overtime period. McCoy looking around and puts up a three. No good. Hoffner gets the rebound. Foul called. And it will be on to the Cougars. Profs will shoot free throws. It'll be Jenna Hoffner as the 5th foul for Foresta. She's going to take a seat. That's been big. 11 rebounds tonight, 11 points, double-double. She's going to sit with the double-double. As Laureano comes in, Hoffner will shoot 2 at the line. Hoffner can't make the first. 0 for 3 for the game now. Hoffner nails her second. Like we said earlier, Tyler, that at least a made free throw is good, and that was in the same situation for Kennedy Brown as Filio gets the ball up court. McCoy with nobody around her gets it to Lang. Right on the RU logo. Grace Marshall playing great defense. Laureano looking around as Hoffner almost got in for a jump ball as McCoy going around, 8 on the shot clock. Great defense by Brown as McCoy, they're gonna try for a walk, and a timeout was called by Mandy King, 30-second timeout. Coach Gabby Lasella asking the referees for a walk. I mean, McCoy hit the deck without dribbling. Close play, but coach stay on the sideline, still arguing. Can't afford a technical or anything right now.
I think that's more frustration more than anything with her team than more so than the rest.
Great defense, though, by Kennedy Brown. Still an opportunity for the Profs. 126 left to go. The Cougars will have possession. 4 seconds on the shot clock, 1:26 on the game clock. 6-point lead for the Cougars as Byrne playing great defense, trying to get them to inbound it on it. 1 on the shot clock as they finally throw it up. The shot, nothing because of a shot clock violation. Off still an opportunity here, Tyler.
Now, if you're the Profs with 1:22 left, I know you're down by 6. We see a lot of teams try to force a three-pointer, but don't try to force unless it's an open look.
Peters will go right in. Floater, good.
That's exactly what they needed, exactly what they needed.
And they were just giving it to her. A quick bucket and a quick 2 points for Peters. Will cut the lead to 4 as an interception. Last touch by the Kean. Grace Marshall gets in there, but it was a last touch before going out of bounds.
Again, got to keep it going, get a quick 2 here, 1:03 left, get a quick 2.
The X factor, Grace Marshall, though, helping give the ball right back to the Profs. Peters thought about a step back 3. She'll go right in. Good! Gets the friendly roll. It's a 2-point game.
Profs finally getting the lucky roll here, finally, with under a minute to go in the overtime.
As a charge taken by Dominique Peters. The ball will go right back to Rowan with under 50 seconds remaining.
All momentum with the Profs now. And how a game can change in a matter of seconds.
Dominique Peters, you thought when there was about 2 minutes left that she'd be taken out, that you wouldn't see her.
And here she is, still making plays, still contributing.
Absolutely. As Grace Marshall will inbound.
Shows a lot about her character.
Peters will head to the bucket. Everybody else will stay back as Brown. That was a great decoy play there for Peters. As Brown was getting pushed, Peters going in. Byrne back to Peters for the lead. No good. An offensive rebound to Hoffner. Prof set back up. Brown driving in. Floater. No good once again. An offensive rebound by Hoffner. Out to Marshall. I believe they're going to call foul. Filio with the foul. 2 free throws are awarded to Jenna Hoffner. Profs need 2 here to tie the ball game back up. No good, the first one.
Missed the first one. Gonna need to get that second one.
Need the second one, or if a miss, an offensive rebound is needed. But no matter what, you know the Profs are gonna be fouling the next time down. Hoffner. Making a 1-point game. She misses as the rebound goes up. Grace Marshall has it. She tried to kick it out, and the ball was lost. Brown played great defense as they're just trying to dribble out the clock now. As Peters goes down, she was trying to get her hand in there. Peters' glasses falls off as well. And she went down immediately. She was just trying to get her hand in it, but the collision course between Peters and the ball handler forced the ball out. Man, what heart by Dominique Peters.
Taking a lot of heart, taking a beating so far in these fourth and overtime quarters. But again, like you said about her, just a tremendous player.
Knowing her, she's probably on the ground asking them, hey, where can I get a new pair of glasses so I can play this 16.6? Peters holding her head. Marshall saw an open Kennedy Brown, but the window closed a little bit as Lang was the ball carrier. And if there's anybody who's going to argue that that's a flagrant too, that's shouldn't be. It just so happened that Peters put her hand in there. Everything went hayward after that. Peters will take a stand up. Peters will head to the bench. Now in for the Profs. Byrne, Roulon, Hoffner, Brown, and Marshall. You need at least one miss. If they make two, they're still in it, but the Profs will need some help. Still going to a trip for an NJAC championship final spot. It's already been won by Rutgers Newark with the lead of the NJAC Player of the Year, Faith Ashby. 70-68 as Lang will head to the free throw line. First one up, that one's good. It's a three-point game. Need one more here. 71-68. 16.6 left as Lang nails the second one. Profs will need a quick bucket here. You don't necessarily need a three.
It'll be ideal if you get one.
But yes.
Yeah. But again, I know it's 60.6 left. You kind of have to rush it, but you also have to get a good look as well. And I mean, Profs, again, both fourth quarter and during this overtime period, have fought back from deficits. 60.6, still a good amount of time left for something to happen.
You're listening to Rowan Radio 89.7 WGLS FM Glassboro. Joe Stauffenberg here, Tyler Cherowich, Elijah Brown in the WGLS studio. 16.6 left here in overtime. Grace Marshall will inbound. Profs, no matter what, need a bucket this trip. Roulon fires some three. Got it! Roulon for three!
Oh, what a shot.
1 point game as the Profs trap. Timeout is called by Mandy King. It's a 1 point game.
And that is a huge three. A huge three. Oh man, I mean, what can you say about this game?
We have a member of the sports department here, Gary Ertley. Every time a big shot's hit, he just looks at me and said, I'm losing it. That was a big shot. 10.8 left, the timeout's called. Now there's no more timeouts for Kean.
And if you're the Profs, try to get a steal. If not, foul them. And with that three, even the Kean, even if the Cougars make both free throws, if you foul them, the three can tie the game.
1 point lead. Profs down one. Overtime, NJAC basketball. Cougars will inbound it right in front of the media table. There's their chance. They're just trying to play keep away right now. Try to get it to your best free throw shooter. McCoy goes to the bucket, got fouled, and the bucket.
And that was the wrong thing to do there. Just let it roll in, and then you have the chance to get a three-pointer and tie it. That was not a good play there.
McCoy will go to the line now to try to put a dagger in the Prof's heart. McCoy at the line for the year, 74%. Roulon will head off, and that's her fifth. The lone senior for the Profs. We'll hope that's not the last time that she's ever hit the court here for Rowan. Getting a couple of hugs from the bench as McCoy will head to the line. One shot. Layup's good. Timeout, Rowan. Need some help here.
Need a lot of help. You're gonna need a little bit of luck.
No Johnson, no Rowan, and you're gonna need the same thing of what just happened with Olivia Rowan. Inbound, 3, and then foul.
Pretty much.
Kean doesn't have a timeout. Profs can trap him in the end.
And again, no Dominique Peters. She's still over by the trainers table, so that's another big loss for them.
No Peters, no Rowan, no Johnson. But out there is Beck, Brown, Byrne, Hoffner, and Marshall. To Byrne, a 3. No good. It was a long 3. Brown keeps it in. Right to Oakley. 2 seconds. 1 exactly on the clock.
And that's going to do it. Cougar faithful down here in Glassboro. Getting loud. Making an hour-and-a-half trip down from Union, New Jersey.
It looks like just a couple of free throws away from sealing it. 1 second left as going to the line, Oakley. That's going to do it here for the Profs, basically. Profs come 1 game short of going to the NJAC championship game. As Oakley nails 2. Seitzma into Marshall, half-court heave, doesn't go. That's gonna do it. Number 6, Kean, has upset Rowan here in Esby.
But again, credit to this Cougar team.